Good day, guys. I hope y'all are well. I hope y'all are great. Welcome back to the MSG podcast. If you are new here, kindly don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share the video. Alright, guys, today I want to discuss another breaking story that pertains to whistleblowers in Tembisa. Remember, guys, Tembisa is a hotspot for whistleblowers being offed, basically being murdered, for remember Babita got shot and killed for actually freezing payments and requiring that there should be an investigation into the payments that were made to the bogus shell companies linked to Mr. Morgan Maumela, and she got shot and killed for that. So there's this other lady who's also a financial clerk, who allegedly hired two hitmen to actually kill two whistleblowers after they had asked her about a malicious transaction that she had conducted, of 52,000 rands. So basically these people, they died for 52k, guys. This is what's happening, the culture that we are seeing now in government owned employers. Yeah, that's what I can say. Like the government, basically government institutions, there is a whole lot of killings that are happening there, whether it's on positions, whether it's on whistleblowers, whether it's on tenders. Yeah, so this one, it's actually related to a financial clerk who's actually an admin. So I would like to read from this article. So it reads out as the following: breaking news: Inxiweni Primary School financial clerk has been arrested in connection with the murder of a school principal and an admin clerk. So she killed a school principal and an admin clerk. Both of these people are confirmed to be females. So a 26-year-old female who works as a financial clerk has been arrested by police and detained at Tembisa police station on Wednesday night. The female is facing 2 counts of murder, following the murder of a 58-year-old female school principal, Ruth Tabu, and a 55-year-old admin clerk, Nobantu Njobani. So basically what happened here is that people lost their mothers over a 52,000 rand transaction. The suspect is believed to have hired hitmen after she was questioned about a transaction of 52,750 from a school account to her personal bank account. She was also found in possession of money which was supposed to have given to the hitman. Her phone and laptop was confiscated. This case has been prioritized since the murder happened, as Gauteng Premier Honorable Panyaza Lisufi and other esteemed people attended the crime scene. The school principal and admin clerk were shot and killed inside the school admin block at Inxiweni Primary School on Tuesday afternoon. This is a developing story. Alright, guys, as you see the pictures there, this is the 26-year-old lady who had hired hitmen to go and kill basically his boss, the school principal, and an admin clerk, after they had asked her, why did you transfer an amount of 52,750 into your personal bank account? Instead of her trying to actually say I'm sorry or something, it must have been a mistake, and try to repay back the money or something, or resign, whatever, she decides to double down and hire hitmen, armed hitmen, to actually go and silence these people. At that point, remember, the question that they had asked about the transaction was probably between the three of them, you know, as they have discovered that, oh, she has been sending monies into her bank account. If you can look at her Facebook lifestyle, you would realize, or okay, this person was actually living a soft life with school monies, you know. Money is meant for the school. She's busy blowing them on istropass, Hennessy, you know, Galaxy t-shirts, you know, Bella, you know, you can name them all, you know, you can name them all. So this is what actually she has committed, you know. Yeah, basically, guys, as you can see on the pictures, the lady was like kind of like living a lavish lifestyle, you know, always drinking. There's brutal fruits, there's mimosas here, you know, and I can see there's one of her pics whereby she went out to a birthday party where she received these presents. We're not sure whether actually she bought themselves or someone bought them for her, you know what I mean. So yeah, this is the type of lifestyle these people are living, you know, with Galaxy Boy and Hennessy, you know, and they think that people should be killed for that, you know. I mean, like, this was there was no need for people to die on this scenario, you know, but she chose to double down. It seems probably it was not the first time maybe she stole this money, you know, and I think maybe the 52K was gonna lead to other monies, you know, and then she knew at that point that probably her career was gonna be over, you know. Yeah, was gonna be over because she was gonna be charged with fraud, and she probably would have got maybe what, like 3 years or something, or like for example maybe a suspended sentence. But right now she's going in for she went in actually for double murder, you know, a double murder. That's what happened. And as these news were developing days later, you know, there was another suspect who was arrested, you know. The guy's name, let me just show you. Yeah, so guys, a second suspect was arrested in relation to the double murder, you know, of the school principal and the admin clerk, you know. So second suspect for Inxiweni primary school principal and admin clerk murder is a popular local DJ and entertainment events organizer, Tuki Maditsi, known as DJ Tuki Stukana, 35 years old, from Giani, section Tembisa. The first suspect to be arrested is a 26-year-old female, Mohadi Hope Shongwe, who worked as a financial clerk at Inxiweni Primary School. So you can basically see the plot here, that these two people, this guy was probably dating this girl, you know, and they probably plotted this and told themselves, you know what, let's loot this money. And when they realized that they got caught, probably the guy came up with a solution to say that, you know what, let's eliminate these people, let's go Ket Matlala on them, you know, let's go Katie Molife on them, you know. And that's what they did, because two unknown gunmen that were armed came in the police, I mean in the primary school, and shot and killed these two female, old female, you know, leaders, you know, basically the school principal, who was around 58 years old, you know, nearing retirement, you know, and the 55-year-old admin clerk, you know. These people, both of them, have families, you know, they have children, you know, to actually look after, you know. But this couple, these two people, just decided their fate like that, you know, for that, over that 52,000. So it shows the kind of the kind of behavior that has been instilled in government institutions. People get murdered for telling the right thing, for doing the right thing and stopping criminality, basically. And those who are criminals, they just move on, because right now she did blow her future, but if you think about it, she's just going to be eating free food there, and we are going to be spending 15,000 rand a month on her while she's in prison, whatever amount of time they're gonna give her, you see. So this couple here, you can see them that they plotted this thing. They convinced themselves that actually murdering these two uh, officials would make their problem disappear, because already I'm thinking that, maybe Omubechile, this boyfriend were high, maybe he did give her some monies, you never know, but the fact that the cops arrested him as the second suspect, it must tell you that he was part of the plot, or he was one of the gunmen, you see. Yeah, so she was caught with the monies, whereby she was supposed to go and pay the hitman, and everything, her world just crashed on her, all this for the weave and nails and ice drop pairs and clothes, basically, nice clothes, eating in nice restaurants, and all that. I guess her salary was not enough for her extravagant lifestyle, because she was earning, at least she had a job. Some people don't have jobs, they rely on merely on a 350, but they don't do such heinous acts, so whatever financial difficulty she was facing, she was definitely on a better position because she was earning an income, you see. But I guess this is how now people operate even in workplaces. So this is just like a message, to be aware of such, individuals that can actually shorten your life, over a simple misconduct, because this was a misconduct issue. She was supposed to go to a disciplinary hearing, and if the outcome is that she gets fired, she gets fired, and if she has to pay the money, she has to pay the money back, and if she gets arrested, she gets arrested, but even in court, she was gonna be able to argue that, okay, she probably did a mistake. So yeah, guys, she could have like simply tried to actually mitigate this in court. You know what I mean? If there was gonna be a criminal referral, then she would have argued it. Even in the DC, like the disciplinary hearing, like 52K. You know what I mean? She would have said, no, I did maybe make a mistake, and I'm sorry, I was under pressure. I had financial troubles, this and that. I was depressed. Whatever reasons that she can give out. You know what I mean? Yeah, they would have probably maybe been lenient towards her. Probably said, okay, you know what, we're giving you the last chance, but you have to pay the money back. You see, instead of doubling down and trying to correct a wrong with another wrong. You get my point? Like, how do you go from like committing fraud to committing double murders, for like a 52K, even if maybe she had previously stolen the money, prior to this 52,000 rand, it was still gonna be a negotiable issue, whereby there's laws that actually protect you as an employee. You could face that disciplinary hearing, and after that, you go out your way and you either pay the money back, but I don't know how you're gonna pay the money back if you are unemployed, given the fact that she was probably blowing this money, and given the fact that also her boyfriend was a DJ and an event organizer. These people need funding, You get my point? Because to organize an event, you have to pour in some money, you know. You have to pour in some serious money, especially if it's a local one whereby it's in the townships. You probably need a tent, you probably need some, some things, to play, a set to play there. All those things are money because they have to be transported. They have to be, you have to give out tickets, to print out those tickets. It's money, you see. So they probably stole that money and funded the business, you see. Because in one of the what you call this, in one of the comment sections under her post, whereby she was posting a nice lifestyle, one of the DJs commented, but I'm not sure if it's the DJ that we are talking about, the Tuki guy who's actually arrested. He commented and said that if you guys are eating monies, at least share with us, so from a year ago. So it means that this guy had some sort of knowledge about where she was acquiring her funds to fund this lifestyle, and she replied and said that, says the person who has been giving me money. So clearly she's been dating DJs. You know what I mean? Like, as I previously mentioned, guys, that piano is a very addictive world. And if, like, you don't actually have control and you can't control your mind, you will end up, being as another statistics in this genre. You know what I mean? Because it's very popular and it's very nice, and there's a whole lot of groove happening around it, a nice time, enjoying, blowing monies, you know what I mean? So if you can't control yourself and you are working as a financial clerk, you will obviously, and you have access to money that is not yours, you will obviously get tempted to actually steal the money and start going out and living this lifestyle, because you could see that she was actually living around waterfall and stuff like that, posting in bikinis, going to massages, So this is the whole plot around it. This is why she did it, She did it for the soft life. It was nothing major, She never thought probably that she would have been caught, And when she got caught, she lost it and took some very bad advices from some very bad man, and the ultimate result was two dead bodies. And I would like to say rest in peace to those people who were gunned down, while they were trying to actually execute their duties at work. And I have heard that the principal there actually was doing a whole lot of good work for that primary school. She had very clear ambitions, to transform the school. Before she even left, she said that I don't want my successor, to take a school that is not performing. I want my successor to take a school that is performing, that is efficient. You can clearly see this was a very focused individual, in her career, in her own lane, and she got disturbed by a 26-year-old, almost a 2K, but like she's a 2K anyway, So this is the type of arrogance that is coming out, and this arrogance is coming from the top down, meaning that ANC leaders have practiced this kind of behavior for so long, to the extent that even ordinary officials like a financial clerk take drastic measures to cover up, their corruption. This is not like something that just started happening. It's something that is based on a consistent behavior from the government. That's why I'm saying that we need to vote out this incompetent government that is causing so many lives, because if it was a competent government, I'm quite sure that lady would have been arrested, before she could even pull the trigger or even think about buying people, So the fact that she did this and she nearly got away with it, must tells us the kind of country that we are. We are a very violent country, and it's so sad to see it, because now these politicians are actually not helping. They are actually the root cause of the problem. So my suggestion is that we vote for Action SA, as we can see that they are coming with leaders that are competent, leaders that are determined to get the job done. Just look at like Dr. Nasipi. For an example, you can look at the work that she has been doing in Tshwane. She has been she has invaded a whole lot of corrupt activities that were happening in the city. She had made sure that actually all those illegal buildings are raided, every structure that is not supposed to be there, and bylaws are actually adhered to, so the city is currently transforming because it has a new form of leadership that is very young and vibrant and visionary. You know what I mean? So imagine if we can give them some sort of power, probably, let me say, like a 50% plus, to actually make the changes that we want, because they are
in the community of Reiche Park this afternoon, specifically Reiche Park Police Station. This community, another bloodbath after a mass shooting occurred last night. We are here, myself and my colleague Tolani, who's running for mayor in Ekurhuleni, to address the community, not like we don't know what is happening here. We've received a briefing. I sat in the briefing earlier on with the National Commissioner, with the Premier, with all heads of departments. I'm always saying too much, too late. We always see all of these resources after the crime has happened. But we are saying within 7 days' time, we're going to come back here to find out what has done. We've put some proposals on the table. What has happened? What do we need to beef up? And how do we stabilize this community?
The community here is very angry, and for the fact that they are willing to come to us and ask for help. They don't trust the police. Come to us and they say they have information. It shows you there are things that have been done that are not supposed to be done. The corruption in this police station is too high. The police officers have turned into criminals. They're part of the gangs. That is why the community feels safe to report to us. So we are emphasizing that SAPS must collaborate with communities for them to curb this scourge of crime, because they cannot do it alone. They are not resourced and they are not there. The only people that are first-hand respondents in a crime scene is the police, it's the CPFs and the community.
Also anti-illegal migration. That's the only sensible party that I can see in parliament. Even if they go into a coalition at some point with the DA or whatever, but we know that the majority of things that we will be needing, which relates to service delivery, would be delivered, and people who are wrong actors will now be punished for their wrongdoings. Because when it's the ANC government, the wrong actors are actually the ones that are not punished, and the ones who are whistleblowing are punished by either getting fired, just like they did with General Kumal. They tried to fire him and put an insane court order to say that he must not enter any office of crime intelligence, on a bogus charge, while there's people who are doing corruptions, looting billions out of Tembisa hospital, but they don't go for those people. They go for matters like the General Kumalo saga, So it's clear that the wrong actors are winning when it comes to the ANC government. They don't want to take accountability for anything. They keep on blaming apartheid. They keep on pointing fingers, and they don't want to do some self-introspection to see that they have been poorly governing and their representatives are so poorly performing. They are not doing any justice for us. Most of the councillors that are actually ANC cadres, man, they are not working. They are not doing their work as they are supposed to be doing it. A whole lot of service delivery is not being delivered. All they care about is looting and looting. So how long are we going to accept that? Because if we had a government like, for example, Action SA, people like these ones, this Hope Shongwe, this 26-year-old girl who's still very young but already has like 2 bodies, they will be severely punished. They will be severely punished, and it will send out a message to even other people who are thinking to do wrong things, to say that, okay, if you are going to go down the route, are you able to do the time? Are you able to bear the consequences? In this government, there's no consequences. People just die and they move on. Whistleblowers, get killed and people just move on, like it's a normal thing. Oh, she got shot because she was a whistleblower. That's it. Then they move on. You see? So we can clearly see even the cops can't do their own work, given the fact that now there's a whole lot of political interference, that is happening. And since this has been like publicly publicly disclosed and exposed, we can actually see that police officers are actually starting to work and do their job, uninterrupted. So yeah, guys, I thought I should share about this situation whereby a 26-year-old just got out of control and hired hitmen to kill people who are over 50 years old. That's what happened. Yeah, let me know in the comment section and I will be back with another chilling episode.